Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, today's date, Wednesday, June 25th, 2014. Markets are trading up today. Not a huge bounce back day after the big rollover, but nonetheless, we are seeing a little bit of a bounce. S&P up 7 points, Dow up 28.5 points, NASDAQ leading the tape with a 0.5% gain at 22.5 points. So the key here is, again, folks, please notice the pattern that's formed. Yesterday was a big-time rollover, but number one, we held this major support down here. This major support is absolutely a huge level that I can't even put into words. If I zoom out, look at this line. Comes through this pierce, comes through this hit, this hit back here, hit. I mean, I literally could go back a long way, and as I zoom back, you can see all these hits over here, these top little pivots, and keep going back, and it actually coordinates with this high right here, okay, and this high back here. So, I mean, that's your level to beat. If you care about the markets, if you understand charts, that is your point of interest. That is your key thing, and that's what we're battling. And again, today we're bouncing off of that level. Notice, again, we opened down here and kind of pushed back up a little bit, recapturing, and then have been floating up the rest of the day. Volume 62 million at around 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time, so volume is very light right now. And again, we're kind of to the back of the same old type scenario. Now, the one thing I want to point out here is technically this sharp move down was a big reversal. Now, we're not confirming the reversal, so there's no risk of that. But this float up technically is creating a small in spirit of bearish pattern. Okay, now again, this is the big question mark. Well, you could say it's a bearish pattern, but is the volume enough to create it to sell off, to cause it to sell off? And the reason I say that is because over the last couple months, volume has been so light that a lot of bearish patterns haven't been able to play out. And that could be the case here. It could be. And as investors, as traders, it's up to us to just follow it, understand what it is, but then discount it based on what we're seeing out there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to continue to do in this chart market, and just take it one step at a time. Again, markets are bouncing just a little bit here after a small pullback. 200 MA will be resistance. Obviously, this little pivot top. By the way, look at the trend lines on my chart, how awesome they are. All right, number one, this lower level right here, just an awesome level. I showed you, I zoomed out and I zoomed back, and you can see how awesome that is. But look at how the markets bounced early here and came right up to this line and pulled back, then broke through that line, went to this line, then pulled back, then came up, hammered again, pulled back, and then went up to this next one right here. And this is what you have to learn how to do. You have to learn how to look at a chart and tell yourself, this is resistance, this is support. These are your key levels. And when you do that, trading becomes very easy because you know exactly where the market's going to go and where it's going to stall, where it's going to pull back to, where it's going to bounce. And again, that's what it's all about, folks. Putting the odds in your favor, becoming the master. The master, kind of essentially the person that everyone else turns to learn exactly what's going to happen in the market. All right, so that's what we have going on right here on the SPY. A couple interesting stocks out there. Oil stocks very weak today. We saw weakness yesterday in them. They have continued lower. All right, now again, I'm short Chevron. I actually have puts as well, and those puts performing another 20% gain on those puts today. So really nice. Yesterday they were up 40%, and again, just battling higher. But again, if you look at the daily chart, this really should not be a shock to anyone that this is pulling back. First of all, I just want to give you a quick lesson. Take this low down here and measure it to this high. We can actually remove this line for now. All right, this low to this high, okay? Then take this low to this high. They're equidistant. Okay, so that tells you that your max move was there. Also, look at this. If I go to my weekly chart, I might even have to go to my monthly. Let me go to my monthly chart here. If I go to my monthly chart, look at this. All right, let me see where the heck that line was. Right there, I think it was. And again, literally coordinates perfectly. Notice how even though you pierced it here, you never closed above that. This line right here, I can zoom in again. Boom. Cuts right through there from the opening print right there, goes to this line right there, and notice the pullback on the monthly chart. Really cool stuff right there. Really cool price action. All right, so Chevron, honestly, you want to know, I told you this yesterday, Chevron's going lower. And the answer is, well, it's overbought, so obviously it's going lower, but where's it going to go? All right, it's very simple. These pivot highs right here. This is your general target, right in this area. I would say 127.50 to 126 area, and that's still, look at that, that's still $3 to $4 lower, maybe even $5 lower. So pretty cool stuff there as well. All right, so that's what we have going on here, and you can see Chevron's actually at the lows of the day right now, and probably going to break the 131 level. It's just been hitting on this all day. If we go to the intraday chart on CVX here, you can see how it's kind of just right on that low level. There's actually going to be support. Where's support? If it dips a little bit, this is actually, see this little pivot high. This is what you're hitting on now. But if it dips a little bit, you're going to go down to this next level, which will be right here at 130.60. So if it breaks this level, you should have actually another 30-40 cent downside move there. All right, so that's what we have going on there in the charts. I'm just continuing to kind of watch this market and see how things are playing out. Going to a couple other stocks out there. Apple today, flat on the day, weak showing here. The daily chart of Apple is not a strong chart. It is definitely not a strong chart. Look at this. I mean, the markets, again, had a pullback day yesterday, but since then, they've been pretty much at their highs. And this stock can't get out of its own way. After going up to this key gap fill level, if I zoom out, gap fill right here, pierced it, which was a nice pierce, but then came right back in. So Apple, again, not down a lot, but relative to the market, it actually is weak. JP Morgan, look at this. All right, let me show you JPM here. Up 13 cents on the day. That's basically in line with the market. Goldman Sachs, same thing, up 28 cents, in line with the market. Facebook today having a nice move, up 2.5%. This had a nice little bullish consolidation pattern and is finally breaking to the upside. Where's this going to go? I mean, short term, this is going to be your resistance right here at 69.5. But eventually, I think, as long as the markets hold up and don't really collapse, you have a good chance of going to about the 72.60 level, 72.60 double top level right there. All right, a couple other stocks to take note of. Baidu today having a great day. Baidu looks like it's heading for the double top here. This would be an all-time high on Baidu if it gets back there, and that is at a price point of 189.35. All right, let's just flip back to the spiders and just kind of keep tabs on what's going on here. And again, notice how on the daily chart, I know it's hard to see, but here you had the pullback into the 20 yesterday, opened right on the 20 and then pushed up. So they're saving it at a little minor. It's only a minor support on the daily, but nonetheless, in light volume, minor support is actually pretty hefty. That is pretty hefty. And here's your intraday chart, and look at that nice bearish pattern. But again, remember, with the volume as it is, there's no guarantees the bearish pattern plays out. All right, guys, I'm going to step aside here. As always, appreciate you guys being watching this video. I encourage you to take the 7-day free trial and join us at InTheMoneyStocks.com. I'm actually going to put out a new trade probably in the next 10-15 minutes. So if you get in now, you'll get that new trade and can jump on board to the next winner. Take care, guys. Have a great afternoon, great evening. Talk to you soon.